And now, broadcasting from the Ginger and Baker studio in the heart of the Music District in beautiful Old Town Fort Collins, Colorado. It's Live at Lunch here on KRFC 88.9 FM, streaming worldwide on krfcfm.org. Support for Live at Lunch comes from Canvas Credit Union, helping Coloradans afford life. Today's guests have released 2 albums in 2024 and will be appearing Monday, December 30th, and New Year's Eve, December 31st, at Lost Lake in Denver. I'm your host today, David V., and today's musical guest is SQWERV.
Silence, kept to the side, but I'm hanging on. Fooled sure isn't good enough. Who am I to try to fade? You asked me for a little time, you were already on your way. If I can lie to me, I can lie to you, so I don't blame you for walking away. And cloudy weather is taking over, it blocks the sunshine inside my mind. And darkness looming strangles my thoughts and chokes them fully until they die. All my defenses are broken and falling to pieces. My soul, I'm motionless. Time goes by, alone with my mind. Might as well see what's on the other side. To move ahead, but I keep looking back. Think of all those words I said, they never seem to fill the cracks. The flight we took was effortless, you were forced to find the land. Said maybe one day we'll fly again, but right now we're not on track. And setting course for something better, but sirens swirling turned me right around. and psychic warfare rocks us into cutting currents we can't control. I'm strong as long as this motion keeps on pushing me right along. As time goes by, along with my mind, might as well see what's on the other side. You'll find me cast upon the sea, chasing a dream. I was set free, and you'll find me cast upon the sea, chasing a dream. I was set free.
SQWERV here on KRFC 88.9 FM's Live at Lunch. Let's introduce the band today. And I'm going to try and get everybody's name actually correct here. Guy Friedenlund.
That's it. Friedenlund, some would say, but who knows really.
Vocals and guitar. And Caden Kramer back there on bass and vocals.
Yes, sir.
Zach Bulgarelli.
Yep.
on drums.
Emphasis on gar.
Bulgarelli. And then Jack Marty on keys and vocals too.
Yep, it's the easy one.
Yeah, I know. I'll save that for last. All right. How you guys doing?
Good.
Thanks for coming up from Denver today.
No problem.
And I'm going to ask the first question. Why SQWERV? SQWERV. Is that a play on a word?
No. You know, it comes from an ancient piece of Norwegian folklore, actually. Mm-hmm. There's a spirit that lives in the waterfall, apparently called the Fossagrimmen, and if you visit it and bring it an offering, it'll show you some musical inspiration. And in my case, it gave me a shape, and it was kind of a square curve beneath that waterfall in there, and there beheld SQWERV.
SQWERV.
Some would say. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a great name because if you Google us, we're the only thing that pops up.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
You just have to spell it right.
Yeah. Well, you want to make sure and pronounce that right, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You should see how many people spell it wrong on the marquee. Lots of people put an E after it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah, SQWERV.
Yeah.
You would think they would put a
SQWERV.
U after the Q, but they get the W right, but they add the E.
All right. Well, I'm glad I got it right. All right.
Man.
You guys have been busy. You had 2 albums out this year, Mirage and Hors d'oeuvres. And also, it looks like recently you've opened for George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. That must have been a blast.
Yeah, that was super fun. We got that gig last minute, like Jack was saying earlier, and we're really thrilled. It was a very special moment, I think, for all of us. I don't think I'm just speaking for myself, but it was just like a really immense musical force that we kind of got to experience that night, and being on stage with those guys, and just seeing what their show was all about. Because we didn't know too much. Like, I knew of them, you know. I don't think any of us were really experts in their music, but we did our homework in the short time we had, and it kind of dawned upon us, I think, during that show. We're like, well, this is pretty awesome. So
Where was it at?
the Ogden Theater in Denver. Yeah.
All right. Excellent show. And they're crazy. They are
Oh, wow.
crazy.
They played a Maggot Brain that I thought was like the place was gonna like the roof was
Explode,
gonna blow
huh?
up.
Yeah,
it was insane.
I think I was telling Guy the other night that it's like, I think it was you, but that I've never seen a band make it feel like there's just as much of a party going on
In the
on
audience?
the stage as there is in the audience, you know, like they really blend it. It feels like the whole room's the stage.
Amazing. Yeah. When I saw them, I won't even say how many long years ago it was.
Do you remember?
They came in on a spaceship.
Yeah, we watched
that's-
that.
You guys
Yeah,
the night
saw the
before.
heyday.
Yeah, the mothership landed and they all came
Dr.
out
Funkenstein.
bunking off the mothership. So,
so
that was, I don't even know how you travel and present a show that way, huh? But anyway, so
Yeah, good time.
why don't you guys fill me in a little bit on your influence? I was trying to put my finger on your sound. It's kind of like a jazz rock fusion.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what it sounds like to me anyway.
I think that's pretty accurate. We all have really different influences. Like, I come from a little bit more of like a indie singer-songwriter background, maybe, like Beatles and Bob Marley and stuff growing up. But I don't know, I can let these guys speak for themselves. But we definitely blended a lot of our influences together. You know.
Yeah, I came up on classic rock. My dad's like an old Deadhead, so a lot of Grateful Dead, a lot of Fish.
So
That-
Brent Midland was like a keyboard
love Brent
inspiration.
Midland,
Yeah.
Yep, and Paige McConnell from Fish, huge inspirations. But yeah, it's kind of the music I grew up on, so I'm very well versed in that.
All right.
Where me and him are maybe most similar as far as like what we listened to in our formative years, like Doors, Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles. And now I definitely love a lot of like psych rock and very mellow, like indie.
What kind of psych rock you listening to?
Krungbin has been like at the top of my list for like several years.
They're almost world music too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all
Misha
over the place.
Panfilov.
Yeah. We've been listening to them lately.
Yeah.
Misha Panfilov.
Yeah.
It's
think it's
amazing. If you
Panfilov.
don't know about it, check it out.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And Zach, what about your?
I was just going to say, Zach, what are
weird
you listening
influences?
to?
Geez, all over the place. It started with classic rock, and then it naturally led to death metal and fusion,
Progression.
and beyond.
And beyond.
That's why we have double kick in like otherwise rather chill songs sometimes, which I'm all for. Just saying.
Who'd you grow up listening to as a drummer?
Bonham's like the reason I started, and then there's so many, but the top favorites for me are probably Blake Richardson from Between the Buried and Me, Matt Garska from Animals as Leaders, Dave Weckl from many things like Chick Corea, and Jose Pasillas from Incubus was a big influence on me too.
I'm getting some of that Chick Corea influence too.
Yeah, the electric band, that Dave Weckl, is just, the fluidity is just unreal.
What were those first two songs we heard?
So that was Keep On Movin', which is a relatively new one, that first tune. And the one after that, excuse me, sorry, my nose is itching like crazy, was Psychic Warfare, which is a bit of an older tune, but we got into the repertoire maybe like a year ago or 6 months ago or something.
Cool.
And yeah, neither of them are out on albums, but funny enough, they both will hopefully be on our next album.
So that's why people have to come see you on the 30th and the 31st. Huh?
They are on live albums though, or at least one.
At least
Oh,
one.
nice.
Psychic Warfare, I
Yeah,
mean,
you're right.
is on a live album that came out this year.
How many albums out do you guys have out?
3 studio albums or
Four.
Four studio albums, and then a couple live albums.
Wow, been busy.
Yeah, we try and record all our shows and get that out, and then Jack mixes them up now. And
Yeah, you can find us on Bandcamp and listen to our shows, like way more shows than what's available on Spotify. If
Okay.
you're interested.
That's probably the best place for people to get your music if they're interested in obtaining it, right?
Yeah.
Spotify.
Bandcamp?
Yeah,
Bandcamp or
yeah, our
Spot-
music's on
Yeah,
Spotify.
well, yeah. If you want our studio albums and like our very well mixed and mastered live albums, we have well, I guess we only have two compilation live albums, and then 2 live show albums that are full all the way through that are on Spotify.
3.
3, sorry. But so that's probably where you want to go. But if you want to dive a little deeper, Bandcamp, we have every show that we have the capability to record is on Bandcamp. So
There's
and
that dead
that's the good, the
influence,
bad,
putting
and
every
the
live show
ugly.
possible.
Trying to.
Okay, all right, cool. Well, what would you guys like to play for us next?
I was thinking next we could do a track that was off of our hors d'oeuvres album, Thinking Miami. Cool. Yeah,
Cool.
it's called Miami.
SQWERV here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. SQWERV here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. Wow. Boy, I tell you, you guys were all over the place. I was getting some Billy Cobham double bass in there for a bit.
We talked about it, so thought I'd put it in there.
Yeah, that sounded great. Really, I could feel it too. And Miami, boy, that sounded like I was listening to some early Pink Floyd almost. That was, I like that.
We love those guys.
Yeah, that's a big
definitely
influence.
a common influence actually for us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it sounded great. I was going to ask Caden. Caden, it looks like you modified your bass a little bit here. Took off the pick guard, and did you change the pickups? And
I did, yeah. I actually, this is probably like my first like bass that I really fell in love with, but I bought it without the pick guard.
Oh, really?
At a used music store.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that was like right by my parents' house when I lived there, and I would just go in there and just play it all the time. And like even the dude at the store was like, "You here to play your bass?" It was funny. I realized that I liked the way it sounded so much through the amps at their store because one of the pickups was actually broken on it.
Oh.
And I was like kind of young and I didn't realize until I got home. I was like, this knob doesn't change like the sound
Anything,
at all.
huh?
So, yeah, so these are like, they're not actually vintage, but I think they're like the 60s.
That's pretty vintage.
But I don't think they're actually 60s. It's like a recreation of
okay.
like a
60s
vintage Fender J bass pickups, and yeah. And then I got this little thumb rest here, because a lot of basses you see have this thing like right here.
Yeah, like
And-
you're like almost picking up the
Yeah,
bass rather
and I
than
think-
resting your hand.
That's for like lefty players or something, but it just never made sense to me. I was like, why would you put? So I put one right here because I like to rest my thumb. And over here is a little too tight, and over here, so like depending on the tone I'm going for, I can neatly rest my thumb anywhere right here. So I put that right there. I changed this bridge from what was originally there. I also have this neat hip shot drop D, which I actually used in Miami, which will like if I'm in E, I can just hit that and it'll drop it into drop D. So.
Sweet.
Yeah, I love this bass. And then I got one of these tuning pegs fell off, so there's a little, I think it's like an arcade token or something that's like in here right now. That is
For a
like
machine head,
Yeah,
huh?
that's why for my tuning peg. So yeah, I love this bass. It's actually not the one I use the most. I have a Lackland or a Lakeland that is just giving me trouble right now. So I went back to this one and for today.
It's working well for you today.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Thank you.
And Guy, I was, we talked earlier about your guitar. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
So the model's called Kalos. It's by DGN Guitars, which is Dan Neefsay in Connecticut. And yeah, I got this made. Was it like 2 years ago now already? And it was a bit of a whirlwind with getting this to play just right for me. But now it's doing the best it has. I've had it worked on a few times. We just had a few issues along the way, but it's treating me well.
Looks lighter because it's semi-hollow body?
Yeah, it's completely hollow on the
Is it?
inside
Okay.
actually. Yeah, so
How many times has that thing been back and forth across the country?
yeah,
To get it right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's been some. It's been a fun route.
Did you do the custom inlay? It looks
Yeah,
like a
so these
Paul
are-
Reed Smith or something.
Yeah, so these are like our splats, like the SQWERV splats, which are done by an artist friend of mine who kind of came up with the band name in a way as well. His name's Leo Margolis, and he's a great fashion designer and artist, just makes a lot of visual art.
He's the Norwegian god behind the waterfall.
Yeah, Leo at the Margolis impasse.
At the Margolis
waterfall
impasse,
is
exactly.
between the mountains, and it's right directly between the
All
Margolis
praise
impasse.
Leo.
But yeah, this is like the
Praise
splat.
Leo.
You can see they're kind of on our amp and our drum.
I know. I noticed
and all
that.
that
The logo, yeah, it follows.
Yeah.
And then the pickups slightly
Yeah.
different there, too.
So they hand wire the pickups there too. He makes them all in shop, so everything's made there. The pickups are like kind of like a vintage PAF voicing, so definitely super inspired by like a Languedoc, which Trey Anastasio plays, or it's kind of a mix between a Jerry guitar and a Trey guitar is how he likes to describe it. And I do feel like it kind of has a little bit of both. It's like a little brighter, so more on the Jerry end sometimes, but also can get like the full hollow body sustain type thing going
Cut
on.
it so you can get up high on the
on
the fretboard?
the high fretboard. So I got the 24 frets and everything. So
Nice.
yeah.
All right. So you guys keep popping out these influences here and surprising us, and I'm
love
enjoying
music.
it all.
Yeah.
And I guess, I'm not going to waste a lot of time. I'm kind of curious to hear what you guys would like to play next.
Okay. Want to do King George?
Sure.
Or
let's do it.
Okay.
Either that or lately.
Lately, yeah.
Yeah.
Or both.
Yeah.
We'll do both, but which one should we do first?
One with vocals.
The one with vocals. It's been too long without vocals.
Oh yeah, that's true. I
King
think
George has more vocals.
One with more
so
vocals.
Let's go with that.
I don't know how these songs go.
SQWERV here on Live at Lunch.
as he returns from test defeat. A raven and a letter, now they're free. King Joseph has turned away the battle cries of Germany, washed away and left unfound. A new era has begun, a day for peace.
All right, SQWERV here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. I'd like to take just a second to thank the Live at Lunch video audio crew that always does such a fantastic job here at Live at Lunch. And also to remind all our listeners that you can always tune in to KRFC's RadioVision YouTube channel and get all past, present, and future videos. And while you're there, click the subscribe button, and every week you'll get a notification of who that coming artist is that week. And thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys coming in today and driving up from Denver and braving I-25, and thank God it was a good day for it.
Oh, yeah.
And was there anything that maybe we didn't touch base about? Oh, I'd like to remind our listeners again that you will be playing Monday, December 30th, and New Year's Eve, December 31st at Lost Lake in Denver. And any other gigs coming up beyond that are pressing and important?
We'll be playing at 10 Mile Music Hall in January for the first time, which we're really excited about. Yeah, in Summit. The Runaway Grooms.
Runaway Grooms.
Yeah, and then...
great band.
Want to tell them about the Boulder show?
Yeah, we got, we're playing, opening for Pigeons playing ping pong.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be really fun. Been a big fan of that band for a long time and very excited to gig with them. That'll be March 8th.
Boulder Theater.
At the Boulder Theater, yup.
And I assume you're yet working on some additional new music?
Yeah,
that's like all we're doing right now.
Yeah, getting new songs into our repertoire just for live, and then our studio stuff is always just like slowly behind that. It's like we record it about a year to 2 years after it's actually written and being played live, and it's just slowly.
Well, when you record it, it's all tight.
Right, exactly.
What's the best place for people to get information on the band, upcoming gigs, if they want to obtain your music, things like that?
I think our Instagram or our website, and it's just, SQWERV. I think, our website is just sqwerv.com, and I believe our Instagram is just SQWERV. I don't think it's SQWERV Music, but yeah.
Wonderful.
And on the website, people can sign up for our email list if they so wish to. So
it's true.
Caden does a good job with our newsletter.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, we got a monthly newsletter that goes out.
Oh, that's
handwritten on the computer by Caden.
That's some organization there, isn't it?
I'm not going to say it's the most important part of the band.
Well, why don't you guys lead us out today? You've got about 7.5 minutes.
Cool.
Overthinker?
Let's do it.
Cool. Overthinker. SQWERV today on Live at Lunch.
It'd be kind of funny. Oh, my gosh.
Sat there for a minute.
It'd be kind of funny to sit here and decide if we're going to play Overthinker or not.
I just don't know. That's right, man.
Let's just do it, man.
Can't tell. Sorry, thanks for that.
Unless you want to do something else.
No. I'd like to have a little improv in here tonight or today. Happy Friday, everybody.
Second guess. Try to read between the lines. Within the space it often lies. The truth we know and hold so dear, until it starts to disappear. And flip the script to realize what you want is deep inside. Behind your eyes is growing louder. choice. You better listen for the voice, not the one that puts you down, or the one that forces you to frown, not the one that says to rush, or the one that keeps your brain in mush. Flip the script to realize what you want is deep inside. Overthink
Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch, and thank you to the Music District here in the heart of Fort Collins, Colorado. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email our music director, David Vosick, at david@krfcfm.org.